I don't have a hook for you. You either want to watch this or you don't. Today, I'm going to talk about prototyping. I'm going to show you what I'm doing and how you can do it. That's all I'm going to do today, how to do it for beginners. And then towards the end of the video, I'm going to talk more about how this applies to more experienced developers. Because right now, I have a school community that is focused on helping you publish your game and actually know how to do it right, how to make money with your game, how to do advertising and the getting players in, all the stuff that involves more than just the code. Because the code is already everywhere. So I have a game called Monkey Wizards. It's a VR title. In previous videos, I talked about my goals with that game, and is to simplify things by doing a Gorilla Tag clone and focusing on one or two mechanics, and that's it. And the emphasis will be on a subscription model to make money. That's all I'm doing. I've been learning some stuff, and I want to share with you where I'm at, show you that this process works. So this is proof of concept. I'm showing you exactly from beginning to end. I'm going to document everything because I already done it. I already know it's going to work. It's just a matter of let's see how much money we can make, right? And see if this is profitable. In the previous video, I kind of showed the castles that I was looking up the assets and all that. I scraped that and dialed it down because I needed to test some certain mechanics and prototype a few things before going deeper into the monetization aspect. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to show you first where I'm at, and then we're going to dive a little bit more into the beginning stuff. And last time we didn't have the rig. I don't think we did. So I talked to somebody on Discord and I got a Gorilla Tag rig. It's kind of weird, but it will do for now. It's just so as you can see, let me make sure you can see. Window layout. Variable, I think. Yeah, there you go. You can see what I'm seeing. Okay. So we have a leaderboard. It's only me because no one plays it. Obviously, I'm testing it. But if you want to, I'll leave a link below. It's a multiplayer game, so if I think it's up to 20 people. So if 20 people join, you can play this with 20 people. I was like, okay, what is the simplest thing I can do? And so I did this kind of survival leaderboard where you try to see how long you can survive outside this area. Okay, so I'm going to show you what happens the moment I step out. And these guys are just step there. So they'll start moving and shooting at you, right? So they'll move and shoot. Oh my gosh, they're shooting actually faster than I thought before. And the idea is to try to survive in this mode. And then the longer that you, so that, and I have a power, so I can hold and I can shoot and it will shoot. Oh, yeah. What did I hit? So the idea is to try to hit them before, there. So I hit that guy. Oh. So you have fireballs too. I'm trying to see if I can shoot him, but they move too fast. So I haven't tried playing when these guys are moving. Oh man. So yeah, so this is super hard. But they have 1 health, and yeah. So this is the game. Technically, I could survive a long time by just moving around. So this is not like the end game. This is just me. Trying to get something to work. And see, I have health too. So if I stay here, I'm gonna die, and then I'm gonna spawn back. Okay, so that was my latest time, 80 seconds. And technically, I could kill these guys right now. See, the health is not resetting, so I gotta reset the health. But this is what I have so far. I have that auto aim that is based on the camera, so where I'm looking. So I don't have to worry about aiming. I just shoot it and it goes that way. And then I can kill the guys. That makes sense. So I gotta make sure that it resets. But that's as far as I got for now. I have my hand, I hold the trigger, and I let go, and it shoots it. And that's it. It's super simple. I got the idea I got was from Batman VR. They have for the the boomerang throw, the bat. And so I like that, and so I started using that. So I want to tell you a little bit. Let's say you know nothing about coding, right? I have no idea how to code. In my first video, I talk about how to start, right? And I have a video how to start game dev right. And in that, I have links so that no matter what engine you're, well, if you're using Godot, Unreal, or Unity, you can you there's links in there on how to build to that platform, so you can learn how to build on Android, iOS, on PC, on VR. It's all there, and the links are there. The information is out there already. Almost 90% of the information is on YouTube or some course for free. So that's the first thing, is if you're starting, that's the beginning. Then you move on to, okay, I learned how to make games in the platform. Now a template. I learned how to do that, how to build to my platform. Now, what do I do after that? What do I learn? And so you learn to prototype. Okay, so okay, what skills do I need? I want to make a first person shooter. Okay, start with a first person shooter template, a character controller. Like, okay, how do I add a health system or something? And then you can Google it, and there's a lot. You can also use ChatGPT to help you, and you can go back and forth. And okay, so that's the code. So let me talk to you about a little bit of how to organize yourself, right? So for Monkey Wizards, I remember in VR is like sometimes you have ideas of how to do it, but then you're like, oh, where do I find information? And so for Monkey Wizards, I knew I wanted some kind of spells. You're a wizard. You needed to do spells. Okay, how are we going to do it? And I've seen a lot of games where you have blade and sorcery, right? And so how am I going to be different than blade and sorcery? It's kind of hard. So I looked up some gestures. It's like, okay, if I want to do gestures, I need to learn how to do it and figure out if it feels right. So what I did is, I'm going to show you now. I went to these. I started with Balam's tutorials. He does VR tutorials, and he did this one a while 3 years ago. Okay, so a long time, about detecting movement in VR, and he uses a free Unity asset that does just recognizes gestures, and he kind of goes through that with cubes. And then this one's the part two where it actually does the recognizing, and this one is just how to draw it, the shape, as the controller moves around. And then on this one, he goes about how to use the plugin to detect gestures. Okay. But he did it with cubes, right? And so I was like, okay, what if I want to paint, right? And it works with this, just FYI. And so I went through this tutorial, and I used this tutorial on Unity for drawing gestures. And what happened is I then went to my game, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do gestures. And I can show you uh, and I'm gonna show you now kind of how that setup works. Um, if I still have it in here. So I have, let me see, in the Gorilla tag. So what happens is, uh, let me see. So I have the spell tip. So this is like the drawing in here. I turn these on so you can show you. And what I did is, this is the fireball stuff, which I'm gonna turn off. Before I had this fireball, because before I played Batman VR and before I did um, all these other things, I first had, as you can tell, see the draw tool select. I basically, let me check here, select. Oh, this was for something else. So this was for toggling the color, but I don't care about toggling the. And then I have this draw tool. Okay, are you ready? It's actually pretty cool, but it doesn't work. This is why I want to show you. Like, let's see how to make sure that you understand. Like, it takes iterations to figure things out. Okay, it's gonna be work, but this is the fun part. I love doing this because prototyping is what makes your game better, and you have to play your game, and you have to have other people play it. So right now I'm early prototypes, so I'm the one testing it because I know the minimum bar, right? Like, I'm trying to figure that out, like what's the core of this game. And so at the beginning, when you're starting, you have an idea of your goals, you know where you want to go, but you gotta like feel your way there, right? And so you gotta solidify those goals, figure out if it's possible for you to do this or not. And so I'm trying to like show you what it looks like because I'm in the middle of it right now. Okay, I'm in the probably the third iteration, right? I posted a video where I was before a couple 2 weeks ago, and then I've been so busy. But I've been every Saturday. I try to spend a little bit more time, and I wish I would do. I wanted to do an hour every day on this game, but I just couldn't because there's other priorities with, like I said, my school community and what I'm doing there. But this relates to that because I'm basically showing uh, the steps by step, and it's very little coding, right? I showed you the videos that I did. So I created the draw tool, and then I have the colors, whatever. But I don't need these right now. And then I have the spell list. So I have a list here of all the spells. I have a circle, a shield, a lance, and then I have the prefabs. And what happens is I wanted to do this where you draw a circle and then you can punch through the circle and a fireball would come out. That was my vision, right? Like, oh, this is gonna be so awesome. And you know what happened when I did it? It like it sucked. And I was like, crap, what am I gonna do now? This is like the worst thing ever. Because you couldn't aim, right? Like, because you have to like figure out which direction you were gonna punch, and so you had to draw at the right angle. So it sucked, right? And so I gave up on it. I was like, this is not the way to go. I scrapped it and I went with a fireball, like I showed you guys. But what happened is, uh, okay, so this is the iteration process. I cut this, it wasn't gonna work. I tabled it. Obviously, I didn't delete it. I just stopped using it. I said, okay, what is easier? I'm just gonna do a fireball. You hold the trigger and you throw it. And then I was like, but I still need to aim, right? And throwing in VR is hard. And I don't want to do this auto aim, whatever. And so that's when like playing VR, like I actually started playing Batman VR, and I played other games like Ghostbusters and other and testing things out. But when I played Batman, I realized like, oh, when the boomerang they have like an auto aim, and it's just based on the camera. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think of that? And so now I did that, as you saw before with a fireball, you shoot and it goes where you're looking at, and it's so much easier and simple and makes sense. Now I can go back to these circle, shield, lance, and other things that you can draw, and I can actually use the same auto aim mechanic, and it'll make it cool, like a lance that maybe does more damage, and maybe do circles everywhere, and the circles kind of like aim wherever you're looking at. I still have to obviously test it, but that's my next goal, right? I'm gonna bring back all these gestures and make him work without the aim, the head aim mechanic, and then I can add, right? Because now with the spells, the cool thing with the gesture drawing is that I can have a lot of spells, and it could feel really cool. So again, it's all in my head. Uh, I need to put it out there. So I want to show you. I'm going to turn these on, and we're going to see if it works. See, so here's the magic fireball, right? I turned it off. I have this haptic thing to kind of like, okay, I have the script that I reuse. Again, I've reused a lot of scripts. So once you learn it, make it universal so you can reuse these. Again, Valum. This is from Valum. So he's a really good guy for VR tutorials. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have the draw tool here. Oh, sorry. Okay, there. So in this tool, okay, so if I press grip, oh no, it's doing this ball again. Okay, there. So see how it draws? See? So it does the poof, and it throws a fireball. So right now that is not going anywhere, right? So I needed, so all I have to do is code it so that it follows to that target that I'm looking at, right? The other one is a lance. So if I go, it spawns a lance that I can grab and throw, right? And it doesn't go anywhere, right? And so this is pretty cool because I can go, oh wait, it's not trying. Oh, because it's, oh, I gotta fix this on the left side. But anyway, so I can see, and it can be a small or it can be long. So that's pretty cool, right? But again, what I had is this stuff that was like, oh, draw a circle. I can't draw a circle. So I gotta make it so that it's more recognizable. Wait, is it the right way? Oh no, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I gotta make it so it's more forgiving, right? Was that anyways? Oh, and it's also camera based, so I have to make sure like if I'm facing here and I draw a circle to the side, it only does it when I move my head. Um, but it's still pretty cool. So I can do this. Oh, see, and that has to be a straight line. So I can make it so it's more forgiving. And then the shield is like this, and I have a shield. Okay, so we can go. Let me see if it's gonna work. The shield. Oh no, my shield. No. See, it's and so I gotta figure out how to do this and move at the same time because that sucks. Oh, oh, oh. So I gotta figure this out so I don't die. Um, but that's the idea, right? Like, um, so you can probably already tell. Oh, and there's the fireball. There's something wrong. Um, you guys probably are thinking a lot, right? Like how to fix it. So if you have ideas, you can comment below. Um, I already know what I have to do the targeting, and then I have to figure out the balance, right? Because as you saw when I was moving, it was kind of hectic, and so I can't draw while I'm moving. So definitely gonna do it so that it's more co-op and not single player. I will push the build out so you can try it once it's ready. I'm going to make another video once I have the spells ready so you can see the progress. Because this is prototyping. Like I did some tutorials, I watched them, I built something, I tried it, it didn't work. I tried something else. I played some VR games for reference, trying to figure it out. I had no idea that I was gonna find that, right? It was almost chance, right? And so it's good to play VR games if you're or play the types of games for the platform you're building. A lot of times we joke around that it's research, you're just playing games, but it does help. And so right now, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add more stuff, and then I'm gonna figure out the balance. Once I have the balance and maybe better spells for going in a hurry, the other thing I want to do is do floating controls, like toggling between the gorilla tag locomotion and a flying mechanic for wizards, where you can like glide based on like tilt. Because you can't if you have to move with your hands, it's really hard to do the spells, right? So maybe what I'll do is maybe spells that you can draw as you move, or maybe like spells that boost your speed and stuff. Um, I have to play around with it, but I know that that's the first thing. And then for the overarching goal, like later when I'm working on my vertical slice, is when I'll get players to test the game with me and figure out how to make it more co-op and multiplayer so that maybe there's a guy casting spells for magics that boosts everyone's speed or whatever or maybe slow down the enemy so that or freeze time, whatever, so like there's a lot of things that we can do. It's just I have to balance it and figure it out, right? But I can't do that right now. I have to do step by step and leave that for the end. So I gotta focus on what I have. And this is where it pertains to people with experience, right? A lot of times we see shiny things and we see opportunities and we want to take them, but we have to focus on what's more valuable right now. And right now for me it's just like figuring out the core mechanic, and me stepping back and cutting things down, things that don't work, and actually playing them helped me, right? It helped me figure out what I can do, and I'm now able to go back to the spells, which is a good thing, and make them work. So there's always a solution. You just have to figure out and be willing to just dial back, prototype, test, uh, and this saves you time. Because if you just go with your first decision without getting feedback, whether it's you playing the game or someone else playing for you, you will not progress. You'll just do the thing you set out to do, and it probably is going to suck. And so it's important to always test. And like I showed you, you don't need a lot of experience. It's out there on YouTube. Like I'm here not because I'm teaching people how to code. I want to help people understand the planning process so that you can finish your games, make it valuable, make it sellable, and be able to know how to market it, how to actually sell copies or monetize it, right? I'm going to monetize this. I'm going to build a subscription model. I'm going to have assets, cosmetics. I'm gonna figure out how to like in-game currency, and so that you can buy these spells, upgrade them, maybe whatever. But all that stuff is down the road, not right now. Right now, I gotta focus on the game, and then there's steps to do it, and that's why I have the school community, so that whatever your game is, you can get individual help, right? Personalized help for you, and building a community of developers that are taking this seriously, that want to finish the game and make a profit from it. Because in order to make a profit, you have to take it seriously and you have to treat it like a business. You have to know where your time is spent and you have to maximize those to maximize your profit. Hope this video helped, that you showed you what to do. Okay? And next video will be, might be this or might be something else, but I will post a video on the progress I make and you'll be able to play it with me. So we'll see you in the next video.